being intentional for next year is crucial. And it doesn't have to be serious, but it can be fun at the same time. So start like bringing in, I'm gonna start the call as I admit people because I know there's a lot coming in. But being able to start your year, being able to start your year with intentions, like the intentions not just for yourself, solely for yourself, but then also those intentions expand to your loved ones, to your business partners, to your team members, to future thrivers, to your children, to everyone that you actually care about and really want to make an impact and influence in, right? I think that it's super important to understand and to keep at in the top of your mind that 2025, like anything in 2025, anything starting from now, right, till then is possible, right? And to dream bigger. Okay. I was talking to some of my friends yesterday about how this world it's limited to our imagination. Anything that we want to accomplish, anything that we want to aspire to achieve, anything that we want to bring into our reality, it's limited by our imagination. And I think that when it comes to your imagination, there's this who's watched Willy Wonka? That movie, Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. That there's a song in there. I'm actually gonna look it up real quick. I really love playing that song. I think it's called Pure Imagination. Yeah, Pure Imagination. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys in 2020 Fire Hour season 1 and Fire Hour season 2. I would always start the calls with like the Zoom calls with music. And the reason for that's because when I was learning about personal development and doing things like working on my business, working on my mindset, working on my goals and dreams, music was actually an amplifier that my mentors would use in order to influence and also persuade my mind. And the thing is that it's influence and persuasion can be used in negative and positive ways. It just depends on how you want to use it, right? With that being said, obviously everyone wants to be a force for good, at least everyone who's here, in my opinion. And so when it comes to using music, right? Music is one of those tools that you can really use to not only cut your learning curve, but to also influence your team, influence your mind, influence your children, influence your loved ones, influence people who you're connecting with. Even when it comes to you going into your locals, right? Using music, making it a party, making it a celebration, being able to really influence the crowd. Like it's a very powerful tool to use. Influence is actually, this is like what my mentor told me. This is something that he was realizing and working through from 20, Gadisa setting the tone. Yes, exactly. It's you're able to really control the room with music. And something that I've noticed too when it comes to events and when it comes to restaurants, when it comes to any environmental space that you can be in, is it's exactly what Goody says. Music can set the tone. And depending on what you're playing, it's actually influencing the subconscious mind. And if you're playing music that is filled with love, that is filled with harmony, that is filled with classical music or neoclassical music or things with strings, that touches the heartstrings in a sense. And it actually influences your mind and also your body. And then it can touch you on a deeper level as well. So it just depends on how you use the tool. But one thing that I learned from a marketing standpoint from a mentor is he thinks that this is what he says, and I found it to be true in my own experience, is music is actually one of those elements that can actually penetrate the cognitive the mind. Okay. It can penetrate past the cognitive biases and actually influence and go through the guard of people's minds. Okay. And so for me, like when I started to learn about this and I started to experiment with it for myself, I would play different types of music to see how I would react. And it was the same thing when it came to doing business trainings, the same thing when it came to our work environment, the same thing when it came to being able to move a crowd. It was all about what type of music do you play? What type of sounds do you play? What type of environment do you create? What is the frame, like the frame that you are creating that everyone can actually like picture themselves in, experience for themselves, and then from there take action on, right? And so when it comes to the, for example, the Willy Wonka's music, right? The Pure Imagination song. one thing that I do whenever if I'm hearing music, if I'm listening to a song and if I feel it, then I'll kind of sometimes I look at the lyrics, okay? And the reason why I do that is because in certain songs that I've noticed, at least for myself, I get like downloads. I get some type of information like unlocks. Like it's information that unlocks. And like I actually get breakthroughs from that. It's like frameworks, okay? Like the frameworks that I use for business or for personal development or like quotes or whatever the lesson is that I'm learning and I'm being aware of. And I listen to a song and it's just like that one piece that I'm missing. It unlocks everything, okay? It's not just with music, it can be with having a mastermind, a discussion with others when there's so much excitement in the room, right? If you think back to your GLP launch and the party, or you think about any celebration, right? The energy is so high, and so downloads and information and knowledge is being passed, right? The knowledge transfer is being passed back and forth. It's the same thing that I do with music. And it's just for me, like when I look at the Pure Imagination song specifically, in I'm looking at the lyrics right now. It says, if you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it, right? Anything you want to, anything you want to do it, want to change the world, there's nothing to it. This song right here, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's literally talking to me. It's literally talking about like manifestation. It's talking about achieving your goals and dreams. It's talking about putting whatever your ideas are into this world and being able to actually bring it to fruition. And not only that, the thing that I feel from this song is like there's a touch or element of love with it. And what I found to be true is when you put love into anything, it just accelerates everything. And the way that I can think about this is Crystal and I, for example. The very first month that I moved in with Crystal, I didn't know anything about Thrive, and then she told me about it. And then there was, I think the second month I was there in April, there was like a competition on social media. And Crystal and we had to do the three steps, right? The one, two, three. We had to create a reel. And it just took us like 10 minutes to do it. And then from there, because the connection was so high at that time, it actually amplified our goals. It amplified our intention. And that's the thing I want to talk about today is about amplifying your intentions, using tools and resources and connections and everything that is like the momentum that has been created from 2024, take that momentum and bring it into 2025 and use different tools for yourself, right? Music, whatever songs you love, like that is something to use. That's a tool for yourself, right? The only way that you'll find out what is working for you is by actually activating those tools and being able to see, all right, like this tool right here helps me with XYZ. This tool right here helps me with XYZ. And not only that, it's going to be really important to actually amplify it and to use because it's only going to benefit you, right? So when it comes to Crystal and I, what we've noticed, at least for ourselves, is when two minds, right? This is from Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Like when two minds come together, it forms a mastermind. And that mastermind effect, it amplifies whatever the focus and intention is on, right? With Crystal and I, whenever we decide, hey, we're going to do this and this is how we're going to do it, and both of us agree, and then our intentions are set, and then we add love into that mix, everything just happens, okay? It just happens like that. And that's what we did with the Thrive competition. That's what we did with winning certain things. That's what we did with accomplishing our goals, like certain goals that we set. Like it's all because our intentions were first there, right? In Fire Hour Season 2, we opened up the call with intentions. Every single year, we open up our year with intentions for a reason. It's because if we don't have the clarity, if we don't have our own intentions, remember, it's about creating your own plans for yourself first. Because if you don't create plans for yourself, you'll fall into other people's plans, right? Setting the intentions for yourself, for you and your family, for you and your loved ones, between each other, right? If you have a partner, it's so important because now you guys are going to be the ones, you're the one that's going to be putting that intention into that world. And you don't have to share it with anyone. That's the thing. Like, it's stronger. This is like what I found too. I don't know if this resonates with everyone, but what I found, at least to be true for me, is if I share my intention out to the world, then it actually it diminishes my energy because I'm putting other people's energy on it. All right. I don't know if you, I know we're talking about like some other stuff that I haven't talked about on this before, but I feel like I see Verge nodding. Like I think that it's resonating because I think all of us, especially in this community specifically, but also like in your friend groups and also people who are more connected, like on that deeper level, and who are also noticing and being just more aware of energy, being in tune with the flow of life and being able to understand, you know what, there's more to this place. And it's really about a place where we can play. Like this place, we can play a lot more as long as we are actively aware and we're being intentional with our energy, with our time, with our resources, with everything. When it comes to 2025, this entire month, really, like December, like the end of this year, the closing out of this chapter, opening up 2025, a new chapter with your intentions. I think that's super important to be mindful of and to really take seriously because another year is going to go by. What has changed? Have you accomplished? What's something that you wished you could have done better? Verge says that energy can get diluted with other people's opinions so quick. Exactly. Yep. It's so true. And I think that it's so important that if that is true for you and it's true for others, then it's important to take note of and to also make different decisions and change the behavior of maybe speaking less and to do more, right? Or not disclosing your intentions with the world or even with social media until it actually happens. There's like this other quote from it's in regards to chess, but they say that the only time to speak in a chess game is when you're saying checkmate, right? And that when it comes to your goals and dreams, I think that's so relatable and it's in alignment because whenever, let's say for example, you want to buy a dream home and you don't get it yet, but it's on your vision board. No one else needs to know what that dream board or that dream home is. All they need to know is that you're actively working on whatever it is that you're working on, which is like your goals and dreams, yourself, your personal development, your business, your career, your family, etc., your mindset, especially, right? And then from there, when it happens, then you actually party. That's when people get to know if you wanted to disclose that even, right? Brianna says big on that. Yup. Verge says, especially the ones closest to you. Sometimes your growth scares the closest people because it means you are changing and they are afraid to get left behind. Yeah, it's there's so much to that too. And I think that this is like what I'm thinking for 2025. Like I think that this is what I feel. It's not what I think. It's like what I feel, okay? I feel that in 2025, the closest friends to you, I think that their perspective is going to start to shift actually. Like I feel like it's going to start to be shifting. And if you've been on your goals and dreams journey, whatever that is for you, for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, however long, I'm pretty sure you are planting seeds. You've been planting seeds with people who are closest to you, and those seeds are about to sprout. And it's going to be, whether it's positive or negative, whatever that is, I really believe that people are going to be just thinking for themselves and they're going to be like, you know what? Like if my friends, my family members, my loved ones, if they're pursuing their goals and dreams, like why can't I? I think that's what's going to happen in 2025. I feel like more people, it's like exactly what Angela says. To be honest, opening up, open more opportunities for me. Everyone's perspectives are different. You got to be really strong. 100%. I think that's what's going to happen. I feel like that's going to happen next year for a lot of people, actually. I feel like people are actually going to be breaking out of their shells. They're going to be speaking up. They're going to be using their voice. They're going to be using like social media. They're going to be using tools. They're going to be reaching out. And if I feel like that, then maybe that's what I want. Maybe that's my projection to the world. Maybe I want more people to be pursuing the goals and dreams. Maybe I want more people to be feeling more joy, more harmony. Maybe that's what I want to see in the world. Maybe that's my projection to the world. It's I want to see other people living life to the fullest. I don't want people to be stuck in limbo. I don't want people to be complacent anymore. I want to see change. I want to see the world change for the better in a positive light. I want to see this society being improved. I want to see people coming in harmony together around the world. I don't want to see all the disaster out there. I don't want to see like all this crazy news. It's just What's going to change? What's going to change? Brianna says, you will find your tribe. Yes. And that's true. There is going to be a lot more people hopping onto personal development calls, onto leadership development calls, onto business calls, onto going to masterminds, coaching events, etc. Right? Goody says everyone's path journey is different, and that's okay. Yep. Yeah. Every single one of us is on our own journey. And I think that the beauty of life is we are able to do this together as well, right? But everyone's journey is definitely different. Crystal says it's about the journey, not the destination, right? And she says, may you never arrive. I think that's so impactful and powerful because if you do arrive, this is like what I've found for myself. If you're not actively doing the work and then you arrive to your destination that you wanted to achieve and you don't have a higher level or a deeper goal or you want to make deeper impact, then you plateau and then you can get lost in the noise, right? And that's also part of the journey, right? If you feel, for those of you who feel lost, right? Or if you have a friend or family member or a very close friend who feels lost, I think that something to remind yourself of and to keep in mind is that's part of your journey, actually. Like you're not lost, like you're actually on path. You're actually following, you're actually on your journey towards getting back on track, towards getting back to remembering who you are. And I think that something that I've noticed, especially during the holidays, is there's people out there, outside of this, maybe in this room, maybe not, but there are people who they feel lost, they feel alone, they feel like they need some hope, some inspiration, some guidance, just some love, some more connection. And I think that especially when it comes to like your social media posts during the holidays, one of those content campaigns is about spreading inspiration, spreading hope, spreading some motivation, just sprinkling a little bit of light so that way people know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's really important actually during the holiday season. There's people out there who are less fortunate than us over here on this call today. And the beauty of us being together is that like we already know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. We already know that Goody says, even if it's a little light, hope and kindness. Yep. Like just little, like 1%, like just sprinkle that out. It's worth it because it can actually change someone's life. It can really impact someone's life. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but whenever you post like something on your social media, or if you're posting like a quote, like sometimes you get a DM and people are like, you know what, I needed that today. Or you share your personal story or a challenge you've gone through and you went through it, but you actually were vulnerable enough to actually share that with social media, like to share that to the public. And there's just one person out there who like needed to hear that, right? Like I've gotten DMs from people who like they felt very alone. They felt like it was over for them. And because of motivation or because of inspiration or because of a quote, because of putting my story out there, they actually reach out and they're crying and they're like thankful, they're in gratitude, they have hope. And I think that more people, especially during the holiday season, this is just what I've seen, at least from my socials and like from other people's socials that I'm connected with. That's the feedback. Like, especially during the holidays, like there is people out there who feel like that. So I think that being able to put that into your content, if you want to, if that aligns with your brand, if that aligns with your messaging, if that aligns with what you want to do, being able to, like what Goody said, like spread that light, that hope, that kindness, just whatever that is for you, whatever positivity it is for you, even sharing like sharing a song out there, that can help other people. All these different things can help people. And it's not going to do the world a disservice, in my opinion. I think that the more we put kindness out there into the world, the better it is. Goody says, like Christmas music. Yes, that's true. That's actually what Crystal requested. I think it was 2 days ago. She said we should play more Christmas music. And then our daughter likes to dance during that music, which is I love seeing. Yeah, and you know what? Actually starting your mornings, every single day that you wake up, start it off however you want to start it, but add some music. Like however you can. Add music to it because music moves. They say emotion is energy in motion, right? And so music has energy with it, so it can help you move and create motion. Goody says Christmas music every morning. When it comes to music, this is a tool, okay? This is a tool, but I'm gonna keep talking about intentions, right, in different aspects because I don't know what was reviewed on the workshop, but I'm pretty sure intentions was included in it. Okay. With that said, Brianna says you're explaining my morning. That's good. I'm happy to hear that. I was not watching. When it comes to your intentions from now on, okay, if this is something new for you, if you feel like just for everyone who feels like they don't have enough time in the morning, okay, create the time, right? Change the time, create it for yourself. Even if it just starts with 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes to do something for yourself, whether it's meditation, whether it's listening to music, whether it's saying mantras to yourself, whether it's saying repeating quotes, whatever that is for you, whatever is going to be positively reinforcing whatever it is for yourself, first thing in the morning, okay? First thing in the morning. That's how you start your day with your intentions. You are the one that's in control of your day, not anyone else. So you start your day with what you want to start with, okay? Whatever that is. And the next thing is obviously like your plan, right? If without your plans, without your DMO, like daily method of operation, how you want to play the game of life for yourself, right? You must have a plan because if you don't plan for yourself, you will fall into other people's plans. Oh, nice. High vibrational music in the morning. What type of music do you play that's high vibrational? Because that's awesome. Is it sound bowls? Is it, there's so many different ones. Neoclassical music to me is very high vibrational. Anything with strings, I think is high vibrations. There's so many examples. That's really good. Your plan, right? First one is intentions, okay? No matter what, start your day with your intentions and whatever you want to do, whatever that is for you, okay? Second thing is your plan. You must have a plan, okay? There's the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. So you want to always, if you're going to perform, right? This is part of the 3 Ps from high status networking, right? Performance is one of those pillars, okay? Without performance, without proper performance, the best performance you can do, everything else that comes after gets diminished, right? Typically frequencies, that's amazing. Yeah, frequencies are, we actually play those every day. That's really awesome. The 3 Ps is position, perspective, like or perception, and performance, okay? And performance is part of your plan. Your plan, it's called the P&E, so plan and execute. Like part of your plan, your performance is included in that. And what I found to be true for myself is that whenever I have to perform, but I didn't properly plan, then my performance and my results sometimes goes down. Okay. And also it's a struggle to actually execute. So it's a more of a challenge to get the results I wanted to get. I'm actually working harder instead of smarter. So I think that the beauty of being able to plan and really be strategic and plan ahead of time, it allows you to actually increase your results. It allows you to work smarter. So that means that you're actually achieving your results with ease and it's less effort now, less energy output. And you're able to actually get things done at a faster rate simply because you planned properly. There's another quote, right? Don't leave anything, I'm adding the word anything, don't leave anything for tomorrow that you can do today, right? If whatever it is for you that you can get done today, and it's part of the things that are going to move the needle forward, put that in your plan, right? Get that in your calendar, in your schedule, and make sure that before the day ends, that gets done, or at least you move the needle forward on that thing, okay? Because there's something called priority. The word priority, it just means the highest importance. Whatever that is for you, right? Especially in your business. In your business, it's going to be most likely it's going to be income producing activities, right? And just to simplify everything, it's the MOS framework: marketing, operations, and scale. Marketing is number one for a reason, right? Without marketing, it's really difficult to manifest and to achieve results or to generate leads or etc. simply because your marketing is not out there. And word of mouth marketing is always in play, right? There's positive and negative reinforcement for word of mouth marketing. So it just depends on what avenue you want to take. But marketing is number one. Marketing should be part of your plan, your P&E, right? Every single day, your DMO, daily method of operation, right? That should be in play at all times, 24/7, 365 days. And if not by you, by someone on your team, and if not by someone on your team, then someone like an AI, okay? Let's add AI in there, okay? Having AI doing your marketing, that right there is going to be something big in 2025 because it's already being activated right now from people who are high-level entrepreneurs, from corporations, from people who are just in the know. Like AI marketing, AI influencers and AI podcasts and AI like shows and streaming, all these things are already happening. Okay. There's some tools I'm experimenting with right now, and I've been experimenting for the past like couple months, and it deals with AI. And one of those tools is an AI influencer and then an AI podcast. And I know that this is very new, but remember, it's about adaptability and flexibility. And as leaders, as CEOs of your life, as leaders, as executives, as operators, as founders, we have to, especially when you put your CEO hat on, what does a CEO do? They have to look ahead. They have to look at the horizon and recognize future patterns that's going to affect them negatively and positively today. Okay? So if you put your CEO hat on and you think about through the lens of AI, right? Artificial intelligence and technology mixed with social media marketing and all the channels out there, the social channels, okay? CEO hat on, AI lens. If you simulate the pattern recognition, you use pattern recognition and you simulate what's going to happen in 2025. If you ask yourself the questions, will AI affect your business, right? Just ask that, not whether it's good or bad. Will AI affect your business in 2025? You answer that for yourself. Will AI influencers start to come out more like in 2025? That's like a rhetorical question that I'm asking right there. But do you think, open-ended questions, do you think that AI influencers will be a thing in 2025? Maybe not 2025, maybe 2026. But I'm not going to give my opinion, but Rihanna says death. Yep. It just depends on the lens that you're looking at it, right? And when it comes to AI, like when it comes to you consuming content, like just you think about it for yourself, right? This is like part of thinking, okay? Like using your thinking time and your energy to think through things because that's part of what a CEO does, is strategically think and forecast the future and be able to recognize patterns that are going to affect your business, okay? Affect your lifestyle, affect your business, etc. It's how you make decisions, okay? So when it comes to AI, again, like through that lens, in your plans for 2025, in your intentions for 2025, is there, because we have to adapt. I'm like leaving some breadcrumbs, but if we have to adapt, which is true because change is the only constant change that is going to exist in this universe, right? Like things are always going to be changing, right? And if we are adapting, then we're getting left behind and AI is a thing, then are you being intentional with adding that in to your plans for 2025? Are you being, especially as a content creator, as someone who's using social media to build your business, are you being intentional about what you are doing with that technology? Are you adding it into your business? Do you need to cut your learning curve to learn how to use it? Are you actively using it every single day today? All right. The CEO of NVIDIA said that because the question was, do you think that AI will replace jobs? And he said no. He said he thinks that the people who use AI will replace jobs. Okay? Because obviously, if this is another quote that I really believe in, everything rises and falls in leadership, right? By John C. Maxwell. And if that is true, then whenever I look at founders and operators and just different businesses, I know, at least in my philosophy, I know that people are moving things. It's not things moving things, it's people moving things, right? Amanda says there's so many different AI apps. What are the ones you'll use the most? Okay, that's a great question. So I'm always going to pre-frame that question with a purpose, okay? Whatever tool I'm using, whatever tool you use, the question to ask before the tool is, what is the purpose of that tool, right? What is the purpose of me using that tool? What is the purpose of me using that tool? For example, like I'll share what I'm using, but ChatGPT, all right? ChatGPT is something I definitely use every single day, all right? I literally use that every single day. And the reason for that is because the purpose that I use it for is there's three things. It's clarity. So it's clarity for the thoughts that I have. Maybe I don't know how I want to articulate something, so I use that for clarity. The second thing is for consultation. I actually use it to wrestle with ideas, right? Because if I don't have access to an advisor or to a coach on the fly, and I want to get my thoughts out prior to talking to someone else or to an expert or to whoever, then I want to make sure that I wrestled with it enough for myself to the point where I'm able to articulate what my challenge is, right? And then from there, I pose that question in a world where, especially if you have access to high level people, you don't want to just be verbalizing and throwing out whatever without articulating your own thoughts. Because then that can actually change the narrative and direction of that entire discussion. I advise, at least what I do for myself is I wrestle with my thoughts first. I get it to a point where I'm able to articulate it and I'm comfortable with that. And that's what I want to like present to the table. And then from there, that's when I discuss. Okay, this is what they did in history. They still do. People do this today at bars and stuff. Angela says, me and Mimi just did a reel using CapCut and we were able to put ourselves in the same reel. Oh, nice. Marketing. Yep. Use AI for marketing, right? So CapCut actually is a really great tool to use for marketing. And they do have AI. They have, so if you, I have CapCut Pro, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. So CapCut Pro, Mimi says it was so fun. I want to see it. I'll check it out after this episode. You don't have to get the free, you don't have to get the paid versions. You can get the free versions, right? Use everything free first. And then from there, if you feel like you've been using it for a long time, or you feel like you do your own research based, everyone here knows, just experiment faster with the tools, okay? Getting back to Amanda's question. Yeah, the tools. So ChatGPT is one. CapCut has AI. I don't use it specifically for AI, but I would love to see like how everyone else uses it. Angela says I used for free for a year. I highly recommend to buy. Boom. Cut your learning curve. Just yeah, that's good. Yeah, with the CapCut Pro, like they have the teleprompter too. If you guys need a teleprompter, like a script to follow, it just depends on how you work, right? There's so many tools out there, right? Mimi purchased the Pro as well. That's good. Yeah, I think it's just worth it to use. So there's another tool called Descript that I use. It has AI integrations in it as well. Descript. I use that for long form. I actually use that for short form editing. I have Adobe Premiere, but I haven't used the AI features with it. What else is there? Google. Okay, so this is something that I've been experimenting with and I've been using for a while now. It's called Google Notebook. I don't know if you guys heard of that before, but I use that a lot. I use that like weekly at least. Angela says I use the AI for GLP. CapCut is fun to play with. It is. Yeah, there's so many tools with it. Yeah, I gotta check out what you guys are doing so I can be in the know. What else is there? I use Zoom's AI, right? Zoom has an AI feature in it. Whenever you do a Zoom recording, for example, they actually can do chapters for you. I use Zoom's AI for that, for its a description. Trisha says CapCut Pro and InShot Pro. Oh wow, I used to use InShot in 2016, and that's what I used for editing. I don't know how it is now, but that's good if you're using it. They probably definitely updated it. Keeps video interesting. CapCut 101. Yeah, you just gotta, it's a free download, so use it. I highly encourage everyone who's doing social media to use CapCut, no matter what. That's just a foundational tool to use, 100%. What else is that I use? Yeah, ChatGPT. I haven't used Perplexity. I've heard about high level entrepreneurs. They swear by Perplexity. I haven't used it yet, but I know that is an AI tool or has AI integration with it. Google Notebook is something I use. Um, yeah, Zoom, Descript, Canva. I'm going to be playing with Canva a lot more. Canva has AI now in it, and it's actually really good. I used to use Midjourney, but I don't play with it anymore. Midjourney was something that I was using. That's another feature for graphic design and animation, etc. Yeah, Amanda says YouTube University. Yep, everything that you want to learn is really on YouTube. That's 100% true. Even building your business to 1 million is on YouTube, literally. Isn't that crazy? Amanda says a bunch of tutorials on how to use these apps. Yes. Yep. Yeah, there's so many. There are people out there who have built their businesses all using AI. And excuse me, it's like really wild to see. The biggest challenge that I've experienced for myself and encountered is it's the learning curve, okay? The learning curve. Like it takes time. You got to put in some time to learn everything, right? Angela says, this is great for people that have different markets. Example, Joanna and Pam for Minnesota, create momentum so other networks can see you. Ideas for you guys to grow. Yes, that's 100% true, right? Using chat, like this is something that I would encourage everyone to do if you haven't done it yet, is to use ChatGPT. You can use the voice, you can use just like texting. I do my best never to like type anymore. I just use voice to text because it's a lot faster. But if you really wanted to wrestle with your ideas, you can also, and you need to hear like the feedback back, like use the voice, like use ChatGPT's voice. Can you give me a summary of what you do as ChatGPT?
Absolutely. As ChatGPT, I'm here to chat with you, answer questions, provide information, and assist with tasks. Think of me as a friendly AI who can help with a wide range of topics, from trivia and storytelling to offering advice or just having a casual conversation.
Did you guys hear that? So that right there is that's voice, right? That's voice, and that's free. It's free, okay? It's really free. Stephanie says, and if you have access to a nonprofit organization, you can get Canva Pro for free. Yes, yeah, we do have Canva Pro for free through the organization. But I have my own separate. I pay for mine as well. Yeah, so that's just an example of how you can use it to wrestle with ideas as well. That's something that I do when I'm like doing other things. If I'm like writing notes or if I'm like doing whatever and I'm not on a phone call or in a meeting and I need to wrestle with something and really get clarity, but I don't have time to just sit and read and do all that stuff. Sometimes I'm just going to ask a few questions like that. I just fire questions because it's free. And then if you need to listen, again, there's different ways that people learn, right? Sometimes, so for me, what I've trained myself on is to consume information really quickly through audio. So I can actually consume content very rapidly, like sometimes at 3x speed, because I just know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for. I don't have to learn everything or remember everything. I just have to get the 1%er information that's going to help me connect the dots so I can recognize patterns, okay? I can activate my pattern recognition. And then from there, I'm able to actually let that information lead to action. So Amanda says, I use NowSite. It's ChatGPT for network marketing and can help create posts and captions. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, that's awesome. B says, I use it to help with my kids' homework sometimes. That's great. That's great. I love that. That actually, you know what? Okay, Eric Worry shared that. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Thank you for that. For everyone who has children, right? Who here has noticed that that your children is using AI? They're using AI, they're using it for homework, they're using it for math, they're using it to do projects, etc. Alex says 100% smarter, not harder. Yeah, that's something that I noticed. There's a Shark Tank, Robert. His name is Robert from Shark Tank, and he has. Roselle says, "Oh, I never heard of NowSite. Thank you for sharing, Amanda. Yes, thank you for that. That's the beauty of sharing of your tools and the mastermind effect. Being in the know now. That's awesome. I'm gonna check that out right after this call." Robert from Shark Tank. He talks about how because whenever he wants to be in the know and he wants to understand what is relevant to the next generation, he looks at what his children is scrolling. So he says, pay attention to the scroll. That's like his framework for it, in at least in his YouTube video. And he says that whenever he's looking at his children, he just takes a moment. I think it was Robert. It was either Robert or it was Mark Cuban. I think it was Mark Cuban actually. Mark Cuban said, pay attention to the scroll. I got to double confirm that, so don't quote me on that. But it's one of those two, okay? Clearly, you can tell that I'm like, study billionaires, okay? That's something that I encourage everyone to do. If you're studying people who are in business and entrepreneurship and success, like go to the top, okay? I'm not saying that they're the top, but they are definitely part of the top, right? So study people who are at the top of whatever it is that you're studying, right? But they said that like they pay attention. One of them said that they pay attention to their children what they're scrolling on, okay? And the reason why they do that is because they get the story, okay? They're understanding what their children are paying attention to. And I think that's really relevant today, especially if you have children, because you want to, especially if you have teenage children, you want to know what they're interested in. Being able to have an attentive eye on what they are actually interested in is something important in my opinion. So I was talking to my eldest one yesterday, actually 2 days ago, and I was asking her like, "Hey, are you still interested in K-pop and pursuing K-pop?" And she was like, before she was like in love with K-pop and she wants to pursue it. So we bought her classes. We would like Crystal would drive 45 minutes just to take her to like the top level classes in OC or whatever. And like we invested a lot of time and energy and money into whatever it is for her goal, because I think it's important as parents to support our children's goals, whatever that is for them. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or not, if it translates into career or not. Whatever it is for them, I truly believe in supporting whatever it is that they want to pursue, because that is part of dream machine building. Okay, that's part of imagination. That's part of them manifesting whatever it is and letting them and allowing them to play to the full extent, to be themselves. Okay, and when it comes to K-pop for our eldest one, she loved it. And then 2 days ago, I asked her like, "Hey, what do you want to do? Are you still pursuing K-pop? Do you still want to sing, etc.?" I'm just asking the questions because I'm genuinely interested in it, and I also need to know so I can plan ahead, plan accordingly. And so her narrative completely changed. I'm going to tie it back to marketing. Her narrative completely changed. She was like, no, I'm not into it anymore. I hate it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm over it, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, what do you want to do then? But I definitely give a lesson. I'm like, all right, we put money into it. We put time into it. Like all these things, that's totally fine to pivot. That's okay. But what do you want to do next? And she said, I want to live in Asia. That's what she said. She wants to live in Asia. And we're like, all right, why? And she says she wants to live with her friends and she loves the lifestyle there. And I'm like, okay, that's very smart and that's great. Pursue that. How are you going to support yourself there? What are you going to do to get there? And how do you think it's going to be possible if you don't want to work, right? Because that was another question I asked. What do you want to do for work then? And we talk about finances and personal finance and careers and self-discipline and jobs with our children because I think it's important. We think it's important. With that said, I asked her this question. I said, all right, if you don't want to work and you don't want to put in effort, because she said that the reason why she didn't want to do K-pop anymore was because it's too much effort. Too much effort. So that was a key word for me. So I'm like, all right, too much effort. And this is coming from like she's 14 and under, okay? So like a child saying all this is too much effort, I'm already thinking, all right, like they work smarter, like they're thinking completely differently than me when I was a child. How can I bridge the gap from her goals and dreams to the effort, to the work and effort that she would put in? So I asked her this question. I said, if you can just work from your phone and you can be anywhere in the world, you can travel, you can live from wherever you want, but you had access to the internet and you had your phone and you're able to work from your phone, would that be appealing to you? Would you want to do that? And she said, yes, I would love that. What is that? She was like, how can I get started right now? She asked that question. And I said, okay, great. I actually have a resource and I can actually teach you how to do it. And she was so adamant in getting started right away. And we're at Costco. She's like, can I start right now? Because she's jumping at it. She's like, I see the path towards my goals and dreams, which is AKA living in Asia, being able to work from home and not putting in the effort, right? Here's how do I do it? She's already asking, how can I get started? What's the path forward, right? The beauty is that I have the tool and I have a program and course that I created with my mentor in 2016 already. Okay. It's called social media marketing. It's called creating your own agency, right? Starting your own agency. You can start an agency from anywhere. So with her, with my daughter, I'm already giving her the resource and the tool. And now I let it go. Now, whatever she does with it, I let her play and explore and see what she's actually going to do with it, right? Because the thing is that it's actually in my best interest to allow her to explore that because for me as a CEO and in my career, right? Do I believe, at least for myself, do I believe that she's going to benefit from social media or not by using it? Yes or no? To me, I say yes. It's actually in my interest as a parent as well to help her speed that process up, to help her accelerate that, especially because it's going to align with her goals and dreams. You know what I mean? And when it comes to this world that we're living in, especially in 2025, like with AI and social media technology, etc., like the world is really going more towards social media, more towards a social society, but connected through technology. And if my child is going to be doing something that's going to allow her and enable her to pursue her goals and dreams, and it's not going to harm her, as long as there's definitely parameters and she's doing the work, then why not, right? That was something that I think was very relevant, at least for myself and maybe for everyone who has children, is how are you enabling them and how are you helping them explore their passions, explore and pursue and discover their goals and dreams? If you're able to do that, then why not, right? Because they might change their mind. She might change her mind. She might not like it. She might not pursue it, but at least she was enabled and there was a path forward for her to explore now because I'm trying to cut her learning curve faster, right? And the thing is too is that whatever she's learning, it's going to become familiar with her in the future when she grows up. So I want to give her the tools and the philosophies, the foundational philosophies to work with first and wrestle with first, so that way it shapes her into a way where it's going to serve her in the future. This is like how far I think. Like I think very long term. Alex says my daughter made that. Oh wow. My daughter made almost 100K Robux selling outfits on Roblox. It's been amazing not wasting money on Robux the past 2 years. Learn from AI. That is amazing. That is amazing. That is really cool. And you know what? What I found to be true, at least in my experience, because I used to play video games when I was a child, and I used to sell things through the video games because it was like you had to talk to people in real life. I learned that sales is part of that game, right? So your daughter's already ahead. That's awesome. Sales is everything too in business, right? Amanda says, I love that. I heard this advice from somewhere. When your kids start something, make a deal with them first. Don't let them quit until they win once and then see if they still want to quit after. They usually want to stay doing whatever it is since now they feel how good it feels when they get their reward and then all the hard just melts away. I thought that was pretty cool. That is, yeah, that's 100%, at least from my experience, true. And I think that's so powerful and impactful and positive too, because it's actually positive reinforcement. It's actually like this is something that I'll relate that to. It's the winning mentality, the winning mindset, right? When a child wins, you want to reinforce that because that's part of their mindset. That's part of their development. That's part of who they become actually. That's something that I found to be so true. For me, growing up, I have okay, here's a quick story. I'll relate to that because I believe that 100% true. And even today, okay? Hear me please. Everyone here is a winner. You are a winner. Okay? You are a winner. Whether your subconscious mind believes that or not, that's another thing. But that's something that you have to reprogram then. Okay. You got to rewire your mindset, rewire the subconscious programming within because you have to reprogram that. Otherwise, everything that you do is going to be dismantled because of the subconscious programming in the mind. Okay. That's something that to work on. But you are a winner. You're here for a reason. You showed up. You're showing up for success. Part of success is showing up, right? Half of success is showing up, right? I'll share a story and we'll end it. But Angela says, I teach my son adversity. That is so powerful. Life skills, because to me, it's the most important. How to thrive in any situation and adapt to uncertainty. I instill a lot of core values and beliefs within themselves. That is foundation. That's the infrastructure right there, actually. That's so good, Angela. That's so good. It's so important, right? Brianna says, love Amanda. Thank you for sharing that, Amanda. Angela says that they can do anything. Yep. Adversity is so powerful. Adversity is so powerful. We'll end the call with this story, but it's about the winning mentality, okay? Bring this into 2025. Like this is part of your intention setting, okay? That whatever your mantra is for yourself, like the language that you tell yourself, right? It's about the winning mentality. It's about you manifesting whatever it is for yourself. Whatever your intention is, you amplify that through your efforts, okay? When it comes to the winning mentality, and I'll read Amanda's last message right here. Amanda says that's the foundation we all didn't get as kids, but want to give to our kids. Angela, so good. Yep, exactly. Everyone's journey is different, right? So who says that you can't program it now? Everyone, you can program it right now, right? With that said, when I was a child, at the age of 3, okay, the age of 3, I was always watching my dad practice martial arts. And so when I became 4 years old, when I turned 4 years old, not became, when I turned 4 years old, when I turned 4 years old, I started to practice alongside my dad. Okay. And at age 5, I actually competed for the very first time. And here's what I can reflect on. Okay, going back to that. At age 5, I actually won my first international championship. And the trophy was as big as me. Okay. What did that do for me though? Okay. What did that do for me in my mindset, in my goal, in my drive to succeed, in my just my body, everything? When I look at the trajectory of my life and I look back at all the accomplishments that I made, all the things that I won, I succeeded at, it stacked. Everything kept on stacking and stacking, and it kept on reinforcing my confidence, my winning factor, my mentality, my mindset, and also my energy to do things, to do bigger things, take bigger risks, and just do what I want to do, right? Create more impact. And going back all the way to childhood, like that is something that I really remember. I remember feeling the winning like energy. I remember what it feels like to win. And so that's something that I really want everyone, I encourage everyone to adopt and to feel and to receive and to set an intention for, is that to get used to feeling, to get used to the feeling of winning. Okay. Get used to the feeling of winning. Right. And so the way to do that right now, before we end, is like just think of a time, do this on your own as well. Take some time to really sit with this for yourself. Okay. But take some time and think of a moment where you really won big. Okay. You really won big and you felt what it feels like to win. Okay. It felt like you feel like it, whatever that feeling is for you, the feeling of winning, and reinforce that with your body, within yourself. And every single time you think about your goals and dreams, bring that to that goal and dream. Bring it to whenever you're doing your social media, whenever you're doing your business, whenever you're talking to someone, whenever you're masterminding with your family or friends, with your team members, with your employees, your staff, whoever it is, okay? Your partners, whatever. Bring that winning feeling to that discussion, that energy, and reinforce it and stack it. Okay, stack it over and over again. All right. I remember when I just remember that feeling, and I remember also like feeling of loss, right? When I lost, like when I lose, like it, like that, just in a nutshell, like we can talk about this on the next episode, but the feeling of losing, like I know what it feels like to lose as well, and I know what it feels like to win. And what I'm saying is that you can feel both. You can feel either one. You can tune into whichever energy you want. But what I would encourage you to do is to tune into the one that is amplifying your success, amplifying your health, your relationships, your abundance, all that stuff, because there's always going to be loss. You don't need to tune into that if you don't want to. And what is it going to serve, right, for yourself? What tool are you using it to serve for, right? What's the purpose of it? So tune into the feeling of winning, right? Because now, especially when you're setting your intentions, you don't want to connect the intention with loss, because you're going to amplify that. So instead, don't tune that in. Don't align that with your intention. Align the winning mentality, the winning feeling with your intention to amplify your results, okay? That's something that I encourage everyone to do. Angela says, me and Goody has a lot of optimism in us. Optimism in us. It was instilled at a young age, and I think that's a life-changing trait. If you can program that if you can program this into your minds and spirit, that's everything. Yep, 100%. And you know what, Angela and Goody, I know that is 100% true. That's 100% true. Because every time that I talk to you guys or get around you, the optimism, that positive energy, that light is there. Like I can feel it. I feel it actually. And that feeling, that actually helps me, right? That helps me. So I know that other people who are around you, your children, your family, your loved ones, your partners, like they also feel that too. Like you guys are a magnet for that. That's if you guys have not gotten a chance to get around them, like that is something to amplify, okay? Amplify that. So thank you for sharing that. And thank your parents or whoever raised you for instilling those traits into you. That's awesome. So with that said, okay, to end this episode, right? Your intentions, whatever your intentions are for the next year to come, right? From this point on, for the remainder of 2024, right? End the year strong. Close out this chapter really strong and feeling good. Being able to not leave anything on the table and allow yourself to really play full out. Close this chapter out however you want it. And then with 2025, opening that new chapter for yourself with the highest intentions for the greatest good for everyone. Being able to really set in stone and really have strong footing for yourself that, you know what, this is what my intentions are. This is what I want to amplify. Here are the tools I'm going to use to pair and support my intentions with your purpose, and then go all out with it, right? Go all out with that. Brianna says, thank you. Thank your parents for real, because most people really have to reprogram the subconscious and beliefs. So good, and love this call. Thank you. Thank you. So that, yeah, that's everything. It starts with us as parents. Our children are the future. So if you have children or you're in an environment where you're influencing children for the better, then I highly encourage everyone to do the work, continue to do the work, to be that positive change for them and to show them that, you know what, you can dream big. You can dream big. It's possible. Let your imagination run wild. Okay. Have an amazing day, everyone. We love you. Crush it. You guys got this, I hope. And I really, again, want to encourage you all, like play full out and let your imagination run wild. And listen to that song, Pure Imagination, okay? Listen to the lyrics if you want. Use it as a tool to fuel your imagination. All right. Have an amazing day. Love you all. Crush it, dominate your path, and make it happen. All right. We will see you on the next episode. All right. Alyssa says, yes, that's why I love this community. It's all positive. It's unmatched. Thank you for this call. You're absolutely welcome. And it's my pleasure. That I love you guys. I love this community, what you guys stand for, what everyone's doing for this world, for your community, for your loved ones, etc. Keep on doing it, right? This is just the beginning. It's the beginning of everything again. So let's make it happen. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Let's get it. All right. We appreciate you too. Thank you. Peace out.